Legit, if you blink, you'll miss it. Ganun kabilis yung laro ng RSG El Ganador doon kanina. Napaka-ninja moves talaga ni Ninja. Sobrang bilis. Pero, nandito nga tayo sa Analyst Stand. Welcome. Ako nga pala si Ingan. At tara, pag-usapan na natin kung paano nga ba nanalo ang RSG El Ganador kontra Minana. So, let's break it down. First of all, syempre, the game MVP. None other than... Oy, si Eris! Wow! With a 308 KDA, hindi ako nagulat actually. Nagulat lang ako kasi akala ko ang galing din kasi ni Ninja dun eh. Pero with the Valentina, clearly, he was always present all throughout the match. Normal emblems naman, pero kung titignan mo, naka-Impure Rage din siya along with even si X-Borg nga eh. Si Allen, naka-Impure Rage din eh. So alam mo kaagad na game plan ng RSG El Ganador was damage, damage, damage. All throughout the game, early game, sufficient na yung enough damage nila para maka-burst down ng mga kalaban. Yung type na kahit kinakasapa lang yung heart guard, hindi na nga tayo umaabot doon. Masyadong mabagal yung animation dahil masyadong mabilis ang pinapakita doon ng RSG El Ganador along with Aris as their mid laner. Pero kung usapan muna natin ang game plan of course ng RSG talaga is to burst damage. Kahit may Daiso kayo, okay lang, may Aris naman kami na pwede naming agawin yung Heart Guard with the Valentina. And at the same time, na-meet namin yung requirements namin para magawa namin yung early game burst. Which is si Ninja mag-snowball nga naman talaga. Even si Robin na late game insurance sana nila, hindi na nga daw nila kailangan yan eh. Kasi sobrang lamang na nila, kahit ano pwede na nila gawin. To the point na kahit si Allen nga, naka-Impure Rage dito, hindi na nga naka-Brave Smite because they really wanna go and double down for the damage. And for the side naman ng Minana, nagigets ko naman yung idea with the Freya jungle. Akala ko gold lane pero jungle with Kozen. But the problem is, sabi nga ni Umi, may mga criteria kasi kung paano mo paggamit yung Freya dahil item dependent talaga siya in snowball heavy. And clearly hindi tayo umabot sa late game. They wanted to push siya na the power spike of Freya to the early game. But the problem is, kahit may Daiso tayo ngayon, hindi na nila masustain talaga yung damage na binibigay doon ng RSG El Ganador. Sabi nga ni Athena, mandatory na yung first item ng isang Angela, yung Flask of the Oasis. But clearly, mas masakit talaga ang RSG El Ganador. And looking at their emblem sets, damage kung damage. Impure Rage, Lethal Ignitions for Ninja, Aris, and Allen. All neutral objectives nakuha ng RSG El Ganador. Halos wala nang nakuwang trade. Yung Minana, 1 kill lang. Nagets ko sana yung una nilang plano which was to focus doon sa lane ni Makaru which is the gold lane along with the Harit. But the problem is nakakuha sila ng gold plating but after that, what's next? And apart from that, yung mga setups ni Neja na pwede sana makontain etong si Robin. Sabi nga ni Athena kanina, after makast yung wild charge doon sa Blazing Duet, what's next? Unlike sa RSG El Ganador, kahit hindi nga si Soren Tupac mauna with the I'm Offended plays, nakakagawa sila ng plays. A lot of credit then goes to Ninja with the solo kills na nakita natin talagang pinuruhan niya si Makaru doon sa top lane with the Wiggy Shadow kill. Kahit mag-isa lang siya, kahit wala siya sa objectives, it was enough for them to secure an 11-minute and 5-second game. Ang laki ng contrast compared to their performance yesterday against RRQ Kaito na kung saan maka-comeback na nga sana nila yung RRQ eh. Literal na isang hit na lang yung tore nila. Na-wipeout pa nila yung RRQ Kaito. Pero dito mo makikita kung gaano talaga kagigil yung RSG El Ganador kontra Minana. Kahapon nung nakalaban nga nila yung RRQ Kaito, medyo kulang. Dito naman sa game number 1, sumobra naman sila to the point na it was 11 minutes. Again, Minana Archives, major adjustments when it comes to the drafting. Kasi sabi nga natin, marami talagang prerequisites paano mapagana ang isang Freya. Items, kailangan for the late game. Kinakailangan din ng maging snowball heavy, which unfortunately hindi nagawa ng Minana Archives doon. Pero I'm really curious kung ano masasabi ng ating mga co-casters for that very fast, if you blink, you miss it game number 1. Butters Athena, kamusta? RSG El Ganador. Grabe yung pinakita nila. Di natin expect na mag-game number 3 dahil sa game 1 performance na pinakita doon ng RSG El Ganador. Pero don't count Minana out dahil anytime pwedeng-pwede sila bumawi. At yun ang pinakita nila for game number 2. Welcome to the Analyst Stand. Ako nga pala si Ingan and let's break down this game. Of course, our game MVP for the side of Manana Archives, walang iba kundi si Makaru all the way to the gold lane with this Bruno 5-1-5. Napaka-active all throughout the game, hindi lang in terms of pushing but also in terms of providing enough damage early game pa lang. Emblem set, alam mo naman na custom assassin emblem yan and ready talaga yan makipagbakbakan. Looking at the item builds, hindi na nga halos nag-defensive kasi may tiwala din naman sila kay Daizo with the Valentinas na sige, kaya ko naman kunin yung Heart Guard. And maraming ang moments na hindi na nga siya sinasaniban kasi hindi naaabot etong si Makaru with his precise positioning with the Bruno but still able to dish out the damage na kinakailangan. Early game, masasabi nating napunta ito sa side ng RSG El Ganador, especially kung gaano ka-active si Nija with that Ling. And with the help, of course, of Saren Tupac, talaga namang kaya nilang maging afford, maging aggressive. Sinabi kanina ni Butters na ang kagandahan sa isang Ling is kaya niya magbigay ng advantage early game pa lang sa kahit anong lane na pipiliin nila. At yun naman talaga ang plano nilang gawin. But the problem is, nag-start yung comeback dito ng Manana Archives during this clash. Nakuha na nila yung turtle, nakuha pa sila ng kills, and it all started, of course, with the help din naman coming in from Neza. This time, nagko-connect yung mga ultimates coming in from that Minotaur with the Minoan Fury. Sobrang contrast sa nangyaring execution na ginawa ng RSG El Ganador doon. Maraming times na hindi tumatama yung penalty zone. Marami din namang times na nakakasa yung Heart Guard pero wala pa si Allen for that penalty zone follow-up setup. Compare mo naman sa ginagawa doon ng Manana Archives all throughout. In sync, yung kanilang mga pinapakita. Kung gusto nila mag-clash talagang mag-full commit sila. And for the side naman of RSG El Ganador, meron kasing hinihintay yung Manana Archives doon, which is the Heart Guard. Kung nakakasanay yung Heart Guard, na-expend, naihintay nila, tapos wala pa rin yung penalty zone. So it was really a matter of micromechanics and timing na talaga namang crucial na ginawa ng side ng Manana Archives. Ang dami ding times na nagpakita ng exemplary performance sa pinakita doon si Kozen with his Hayabusa na talaga namang pinakita si Nija na kayang-kaya din naman niyang palagan when it comes to assassin lane matchup. Kahit nakaling pa yan, kahit nice one baby lineup pa yan. And Manana Archives, looking at the emblem cell, they really wanna go full on damage. Impure Rage coming in from Milky din. Ramdam na ramdam naman natin with the X-Borg. And looking at the neutral objectives, halos pantay in terms of turtle takes, tag-isa. And of course, nakuha ng Manana yung Lord. Big contrast compared to game number 1. It was a relatively close game towards the middle, towards the 7-8 minute mark. Hindi pa tayo sure kung sino man nanalo. Pero nag-start sila mag-snowball when they focused on getting objectives. May mga moments na nakukuha ng Manana yung turtle, pero nag-overextend si Kozen. Gusto niya sanang agawan ng purple buff etong si Nija to the point na namatay siya doon. But still, Manana was able to bounce back. Ang bilis ng kanilang recovery. And all throughout, their shot call and rotation was on point. If they wanna commit, they will full commit. Pag alam nilang wala na yung Heart Guard, si Daizo meron pa, papalag at papalag sila. RELG, sabi nga ni Butters kanina, hindi naman talaga si Robin yung plano nilang maging carry towards the late game. It was actually supposed to be si Robin sana yung magtatawid towards the late game with the Harith. Alam naman natin Harith, one of the dominant gold laners, self-sufficient, and at the same time has enough sustain and damage for the early game. The problem is, medyo napuruan siya. Ang ganda ng mga dalaw doon nila Kozen, nila Neja towards the gold lane. So it was really hard for RSGLG na maitawid yun. Another part na pwede sana gawin ng RSGLG was, again, extend or paagahin sana yung power spike ni Nija with the support of Soren Tupac. Na mind you, Soren Tupac's known to use that Angela. Unang serye ng MDL Season 3, ginamit niya yung Angela with the game MVP kontra TNC Z4 na napakalakas na team. So, meron silang dalawang plano sana gawin doon, but the problem is both hindi nila... Sabi nga kanina ni Athena, maraming checkmarks na kailangan gawin dito ang dalawang koponan. But for Manana side, mas marami ata silang ballpen doon, mas maraming tinta kasi na-checkan nila lahat ng mga kailangan nila gawin. And we are going to a game number 3. First game 3 actually for week 2. Kaya naman casters, i-cast nyo na yan. Ganadong-ganado ang RSG El Ganador doon para sa unang serye ng ikahuling araw ng week number 2. Welcome to the Annual Stand. Ako nga pala si Ingan. And let's break down kung paano nga ba tinalo ng RSG El Ganador ang kanilang nakatapat na Manana Archives. Unang-una sa lahat, let's talk about the game plan. Clearly naman yung game plan doon. Pero bago muna yung game plan, credit muna natin yung MVP kasi napakaganda talaga ng performance ng roamer dito ng RSG Algarador. None other than Soren Tupa. Clearly showing his versatility na hindi lang Angela, hindi lang Nice One Baby ang kaya ko. Nakilala din naman ako bilang setter tank. So ilalabas ko na ang aking Grok with a KDA of 106. Kitang-kita mo naman item build full on defensive para magawa ang kanilang trabaho, which is actually manggulo. At yun yung nagawa nila actually. Game plan of RSG was really to limit etong si Kozen with the Lancelot na makuha yung kanyang mga kinakailangan para maka-dominate early game. Especially Kozen, kilala naman yan bilang isang Lancelot user. Pero eto din yung isa sa mga naging problems. Early game pa lang, there was a minor mistake, that one dash that led to a big downfall for Manana Archives during the latter parts of the game, especially with the gold established by RSG El Ganador. Yung mga ganong mistakes led to a lot eh. Nakuha ng RSG yung turtle, naagawan si Kozen ng orange buff 3 minutes in pa lang. And at the same time, hindi nila nagawa yung game plan nila. Manana Archives' game plan was clearly to utilize the Diggy and the Brody doon sa gold lane to dominate. But the problem is, since nahirapan nga si Kozen kumuha ng mga kanyang mga buffs, napilitan etong si Nezha na tumulong sa sariling jungle dahil invade etong sila Soren Tupac. Dumating na nga din tayo sa point na si Allen din ay nakatambay na sa purple buff and with one combo with the Pakito, nababurst down niya kaagad etong si Kozen na ito. And naramdaman, dito mo din talaga mararamdaman yung buff, ay nerf na nagawa dito kay Diggy. Kasi clearly hindi niya magawa yung lane dominance na plano sana nila gawin with the Diggy Bombs kasi ni-nerf kasi yung damage ng Diggy Bombs. Pero syempre, with the Time's Journey Ultimate, nagiging viable option pa siya. The problem is, ang daming crowd control ng side doon ng RSG El Ganador. And gusto ko din balikan yung point na sinabi ni Athena na halos ang daming naging responsibilities na kinakailangan gawin doon ni Milk Tea. Una, he was the Ruby. He was the main source of crowd control sana since yung roamer nga nila ay isang Diggy. But the problem is ginagamit na nga lang niya yung mga plays, yung mga skill set niya to counter set or to evade yung mga ganks or yung mga pag-dive na ginagawa ng RSG El Ganador na dapat sana gagawin ni Nezha ni Nezha with the Diggy. But the problem is the damage output from RSG was just enough, and at the same time the crowd control is not bearable for Manana Archives. Huge credit din naman goes to Ares with the Vexana na unang minute pa lang, first 2 minutes pa lang of the game, ramdam mo na kagad yung damage niya. Again, yung missiles doon ni Ninja with the Barats, kumonekta sa Curse Blast. Tas after that play, inasahan pa nila si Nezha with the Diggy. Kitang-kita mo naman sa item set, no need for defensive items para kay Ares. All full-on damage build nga tayo ngayon. Soren Tupac was more than enough para mag-soak up ng mga initial damage, initial burst na ginagawa doon ng Manana Archives. And apart from that, sobrang ganda din ng kanyang passive na pag nagpa-Power of Nature siya, tapos nakatabi siya sa wall, immune siya sa crowd control. So yung mga reverse time sana na pwede gawin ni Nezha para ma-prevent etong si Soren Tupac sa pagpo-provide ng vision for RSG sa sarili nilang jungle, talaga namang naging non-existent. And this was really clearly a dominant game. And looking at the carry, Daizo, may mga moments sana yung Manana Archives for a potential comeback. Ang daming times na nanalo din naman sila sa Clash. Nakaka-initiate si Milk Tea with the over-aggression na pinapakita ng RSG El Ganador with his I'm Offended plays. But the problem is, na-mention nga ni Athena kanina, pinapauwi ng RSG El Ganador yung Manana ng maaga. Butas na ang kanilang base na kahit meron sana silang advantage when it comes to the Lord Take, kahit wala si Milk Tea, since pulado lahat ng miyembro ng Manana Archives, kailangan nila umuwi para mag-defend. So there goes the very first series ng ating last day for week number 2. Beautiful performance for RSG El Ganador, pero for Manana Archives naman, may chance pa kayo pumawi. Pero casters, gusto ko marinig. Ano masabi nyo?